Some of you have been asking, why is this happening to me? You've been faithful. You've been praying. You've been showing up when nobody clapped for you, and yet the pressure hasn't lifted. The storm hasn't stopped. The door hasn't opened. But what if I told you that the very thing you are calling a burden is actually preparation? What if the weight you feel is building muscle you're going to need in your next season? God does not waste pain. He does not allow pressure without purpose. When gold is refined, it is placed in fire, not to destroy it, but to remove what cannot go where it's going. The fire reveals purity. The pressure reveals power. Some of you are in the fire right now. You're being tested in your patience, tested in your character, tested in your integrity, tested in your faith. And it feels unfair because you can't see the outcome. You can't see the blessing. You only see the battle. But understand, this test always comes before promotion. You don't get elevated without evaluation. You don't get increase without instruction. And you don't get favor without first going through the furnace. The test is proof that something greater is coming. When a teacher gives an exam, it's because the class is about to move forward. When a trainer adds weight, it's because your strength has grown. When God allows tension, it's because your capacity is expanding. The test you're facing right now is not random, and it is not meaningless. It is proof that promotion is on the horizon. Nobody gets tested for something they are not being prepared to handle. Exams are given to students who are about to move forward. Evaluations are given to employees who are being considered for advancement. And spiritual tests come to those who are stepping into greater territory. You wouldn't be under this kind of pressure if there wasn't a greater level calling your name. The weight you feel is evidence of growth. The resistance you're fighting is confirmation that you're pushing against a new boundary. When God wants to elevate you, He doesn't just change your title, He changes your capacity. He stretches your patience. He strengthens your discipline. He refines your attitude, because the blessing you're asking for requires a stronger version of you. Promotion without preparation leads to collapse. So the test is mercy. Some of you are being tested in areas that seem small. Your response to criticism, your attitude when overlooked, your integrity when no one is watching. It feels insignificant, but it's not. The small tests qualify you for larger platforms. If you cannot pass the hallway test, you cannot handle the stage. If you cannot steward little, you cannot sustain much. The test measures what the blessing will demand. Can you remain faithful when results are slow? Can you keep serving when recognition is absent? Can you stay obedient when the instructions don't make sense? These moments are not punishments. They are proof something greater is coming. Gold is tested before it is declared pure. Leaders are tested before they are entrusted with influence. Strength is tested before it is relied upon. And every time you choose faith over fear, discipline over distraction, humility over pride, you are stepping closer to promotion. You may not see the reward yet, but the evaluation is already in progress. Heaven is watching how you handle pressure. Heaven is measuring how you manage delay. Heaven is observing whether your character matches your prayer request. The test is not here to break you. It is here to reveal you. It is uncovering strength you didn't know you had, endurance you didn't know you carried, faith you didn't know was this deep. And when the season shifts, you will realize that the test was the announcement that promotion was already on its way. Pressure has a purpose. It does not arrive to crush you, it arrives to expand you. The weight you feel right now is not designed to suffocate your destiny, but to stretch your capacity. Every level of increase demands a greater ability to carry responsibility, influence, and favor. And capacity is never built in comfort. It is built in tension. When muscles grow, they are first torn under resistance. When a bridge is constructed, it is tested to see how much weight it can handle. When a container is designed for greater volume, it must be reinforced so it does not burst under pressure. In the same way, the stress you are experiencing is reinforcing your inner structure. You are not just going through something, you are growing through something. Pressure reveals limits and then pushes them outward. It exposes impatience so it can be replaced with endurance. It exposes fear so it can be replaced with courage. It exposes weakness so it can be strengthened. Without pressure, you would settle for smaller spaces. Without resistance, you would never discover how strong you truly are. The blessing you are praying for is heavy. Influence is heavy. Success is heavy. Responsibility is heavy. If it were placed on you too soon, it would overwhelm you. So instead of giving you the weight all at once, God allows life to add it gradually, a little more challenge, a little more responsibility, a little more stretching. And every time you survive what felt unbearable, your capacity increases. What used to stress you no longer shakes you. What once intimidated you no longer controls you. Conversations that once silenced you now sharpen you. Situations that once broke you now build you. That is growth under pressure. It may feel uncomfortable because expansion always does. When a seed grows, it must break open. When territory expands, boundaries must move. When vision increases, discipline must rise to meet it. Expansion requires adjustment. The pressure is teaching you how to think bigger, respond wiser, move calmer, and trust deeper. It is developing emotional strength so criticism won't derail you. It is building spiritual maturity so delay won't discourage you. It is shaping leadership within you long before the spotlight ever finds you. You may feel stretched thin, but you are actually being stretched wide. Your ability to carry more peace, more wisdom, more responsibility, more blessing is increasing. The very thing that feels tight is creating room within you for something greater to rest upon your life. Delay does not mean denial. Just because it hasn't happened yet does not mean it will not happen at all. Time is not the enemy of your promise. It is the workshop where your promise is being prepared. What feels like waiting is often construction. What feels like silence is often strategy. You measure progress by speed, but growth is not always loud or immediate. Some of the most important developments happen underground, unseen and unnoticed. A seed does not question the soil while it is taking root. It grows downward before it ever rises upward. In the same way, your waiting season is building foundations you cannot yet see. If it were denial, the desire would have left you. If it were denial, the vision would have faded. If it were denial, the door would be permanently shut. But the dream still burns in your heart. The calling still whispers in your spirit. The opportunity still feels alive. That is not denial. That is delay with purpose. Delay refines motives. It tests commitment. It separates a passing wish from a genuine calling. When something takes time, you are forced to ask yourself whether you truly want it. You are forced to develop patience. You are forced to deepen your faith. You are forced to grow roots strong enough to sustain the height you're praying for. Quick blessings can create shallow character. Immediate success can produce fragile stability. But when something is delayed, it builds resilience. You learn to endure disappointment without quitting. You learn to believe without visible evidence. You learn to stay consistent when results are slow. The waiting season strengthens your inner life. Sometimes what you call delay is protection. You were not ready for what you were asking for. The environment was not ready. The timing was not aligned. If it had happened sooner, it could have harmed you instead of helping you. So the pause preserved you. The closed door redirected you. The silence matured you. Delay also builds appreciation. When you fight for something, pray for something, and wait for something, you value it differently when it arrives. You steward it carefully. You protect it intentionally. You carry it with gratitude instead of entitlement. You may feel overlooked while others seem to move ahead, but comparison distorts perspective. Your timeline is tailored to your assignment. Your pace is aligned with your preparation. The clock in your hand does not control the calendar in heaven. What feels postponed is being positioned. What feels stalled is being strengthened. What feels distant is being drawn closer with precision and purpose. Character is developed before calling is revealed in its fullness. Long before influence increases, integrity is examined. Long before visibility expands, private discipline is tested. Because a calling can open doors, but only character can keep them open. Talent may attract attention, but character sustains trust. Skill may create opportunity, but integrity determines longevity. Many people desire the platform, the title, the recognition, but few understand the weight that comes with it. Calling is not just about what you do, it is about who you are when nobody is watching. Character is built in ordinary moments. It is shaped in how you respond to inconvenience. It is formed in how you treat people who cannot benefit you. It is revealed in how you handle frustration, criticism, and delay. These quiet interactions are constructing the foundation that your future will stand on. Before you are trusted with more authority, you are tested with small responsibilities. Before you manage crowds, you manage conversations. Before you lead publicly, you lead privately. The unseen seasons are not empty, they are instructional. They are training your heart to remain steady when applause grows louder and pressure grows heavier. Calling without character is dangerous. Influence without humility corrupts. Success without discipline collapses. That is why the process feels slow at times. It is not simply about reaching a destination. It is about becoming the kind of person who can carry that destination without losing yourself. Character demands consistency. It requires doing what is right even when it costs you. It asks for honesty when dishonesty seems easier. It calls for patience when frustration feels justified. These moments may appear small, but they are forming strength within you. Every disappointment is refining pride. Every challenge is strengthening perseverance. Every misunderstanding is deepening emotional maturity. The friction you experience is polishing rough edges. It is removing attitudes and habits that would sabotage the very thing you are praying for. The higher the calling, the deeper the character must be. The broader the influence, the stronger the foundation must become. Storms increase with elevation, and only rooted trees survive strong winds. You are not being overlooked. You are being shaped. You are not being restricted. You are being reinforced. The quiet development of your character is aligning you with responsibilities that require wisdom, restraint, compassion, and courage beyond what you currently see in yourself. Hidden seasons create unshakable strength because what is built in private cannot be easily destroyed in public. There are chapters of your life where the spotlight is off, the applause is absent, and the progress seems invisible. It feels like you are forgotten. It feels like your efforts are unnoticed, but the hidden place is not a wasted place. It is a workshop. When roots grow deep beneath the surface, nobody claps for them. Nobody sees the stretching, the pushing through hard soil, the silent expansion. Yet those unseen roots are the reason the tree can stand when storms arrive. If the roots were shallow, the winds would uproot it. The hidden growth determines public stability. In your quiet seasons, discipline is being formed. In your lonely seasons, identity is being clarified. In your slow seasons, Endurance is being strengthened. You are learning how to keep going without validation. You are discovering how to remain faithful without attention. You are developing confidence that does not depend on external affirmation. The hidden place strips away performance. It confronts motives. It asks whether you are committed to purpose or addicted to praise. When no one is watching, you find out what truly drives you. That discovery creates authenticity, and authenticity creates strength. Strength built in private is resilient. It does not crumble under criticism because it was not built on compliments. It does not panic under pressure because it was trained in isolation. It does not collapse under responsibility because it was developed through repetition and patience long before the opportunity appeared. Hidden seasons also teach you to hear clearly. When noise is reduced, clarity increases. When distractions fade, focus sharpens. You begin to understand your values. You refine your habits. You correct weaknesses without the pressure of public opinion. Growth becomes intentional instead of performative. It may feel uncomfortable because obscurity challenges ego. It forces humility. It removes shortcuts. It requires trust when there is no evidence of advancement. But what you are gaining is stability. You are becoming less dependent on circumstances and more anchored in conviction. When visibility finally increases, the strength forged in hidden places will hold you steady. The discipline practiced in silence will guide your decisions. The resilience built in loneliness will protect you from instability. What was shaped in the background will sustain you in the forefront. The blessing requires a bigger you, not a bigger ego, not a louder voice, not a more impressive image, but a greater capacity within your spirit, your mind, and your character. The level you're praying for cannot be carried by the version of you that exists today without growth. Expansion is necessary. When increase comes, it brings responsibility. When favor rises, expectations follow. When opportunity multiplies, decisions become weightier. A small mindset cannot manage large influence. A fragile heart cannot steward significant success. A shallow foundation cannot sustain towering achievement. So before the blessing arrives, enlargement must take place inside you. Becoming bigger means thinking beyond limitation. It means stretching your vision past what feels safe or familiar. It means refusing to shrink yourself to fit into spaces you have already outgrown. Growth challenges comfort. It invites you to confront habits, fears, and insecurities that once felt manageable but will not survive the next level. A bigger you requires emotional maturity. You must learn how to handle criticism without crumbling and praise without swelling. You must develop the ability to respond rather than react. You must strengthen your patience so frustration does not sabotage progress. The higher you rise, the more steady you must become. A bigger you also demands discipline. Success magnifies whatever already exists within you. If there is chaos inside, increase will amplify it. If there is order and clarity, growth will multiply it. The preparation happening now is organizing your inner world so external expansion does not create internal collapse. It means releasing small thinking, releasing comparison, releasing the need for constant approval. The blessing you are approaching will require confidence rooted in identity, not validation. It will require courage to make difficult choices. It will require humility to keep learning even when others call you accomplished. Enlargement often feels uncomfortable because stretching always does. Old patterns must be broken. Limiting beliefs must be challenged. Familiar circles may shift. But each adjustment is creating space within you, space for wisdom, space for leadership, space for abundance, space for influence. You are not simply waiting for a bigger life. You are becoming a bigger person. The growth happening within your heart and mind is aligning you with rooms you have not yet entered and responsibilities you have not yet imagined. The blessing is not just about what you receive, but about who you become capable of being when it arrives. Everything you have walked through is connected. The test was never random. The pressure was never pointless. The delay was never denial. The hidden season was never abandonment. The stretching was never cruelty. It was construction. You were being prepared. Every trial strengthened your foundation. Every moment of waiting deepened your faith. Every unseen sacrifice sharpened your discipline. Every uncomfortable stretch expanded your capacity. You thought you were just surviving, but you were becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming steadier, becoming ready. The blessing you have been praying for is not small, and it is not accidental. It is intentional, but it requires a heart that won't be corrupted by success, a mind that won't be overwhelmed by responsibility, and a spirit that won't collapse under pressure. That is why the process had to shape you first. If you had received it earlier, you might have lost it. If it had come faster, it might have broken you. If the door had opened before now, you might not have had the character to remain standing once you walked through it. So instead of resenting the test, recognize it. Instead of fearing the pressure, embrace it. Instead of doubting the delay, trust it. Because the same God who allowed the challenge also designed the outcome. What's ahead of you is greater than what's behind you. What's coming to you is heavier than what tried to stop you. And the strength within you now is stronger than the fear that once held you back. You are not being buried. You are being planted. You are not being rejected. You are being redirected. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Stand firm. Keep growing. Keep trusting. The preparation is almost complete. And when the season shifts, you won't just step into a huge blessing. You will have the strength, the character, and the capacity to carry it